Hello, hello. Welcome to
Hello.
my show. Thank you, Jim. I'm going to do a quick
Yes.
intro, of course, because I know I might be confusing people with my multiple shows. So, Julia Holly with JH Creative. I have a JHC and Friends series. I do multiple series, and this is one of my favorite ones, obviously, where I get to have creative friends, creative business owners, and people abroad from outside of Tallahassee too, and just feature them and talk about their stories. So, Jim Sherwood, thank you so much for being on my show. A little bit about him. He graduated from Point Park University in Pennsylvania with a bachelor's degree in art studios, and I also had a BFA. And he also played collegiate basketball when he was still in university, and he founded the Canvas Project in 2016 with the goal of making a difference in the community and art in education. Since then, they have created over 100 pieces of art and have been able to work with top athletes, politicians, influencers, and various organizations all over the world. So, thanks for being on the show. And I love to ask you about how you got started and everything like that. And of course, your process, right? So, we met really through mutual friends. It was through Eddie, right? I mean, I feel like
Yes. It's usually through Eddie.
Eddie was Boss. Yeah, and some other folks. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I think I started seeing your work through Eddie sharing a lot of your shoes. So tell me more about like not just why you started the Canvas project to like did you start your career in the business world or did you start working first for a while and then you realize I want to do my own thing?
Great question. Well, first off, hey Julia, what's going on? Thank you for having me on. Um, but to answer your question, no, I've always been a art lover. Um, I played college basketball, so I have a bunch of tattoos, and I've always thought tattoos were cool. And then I was throughout college probably always like one of the biggest sneakerheads on my team. So I was always into the, different styles and colors and, the colorways, why they, the stories behind them, all those different things. So I just was, kind of always a art lover. And then I moved to Tallahassee about 9 years ago. Wow, I can't even believe it's been that long, but
I know,
yeah,
right?
about nine. Oof, time moves. Yeah, about 9 years ago. And when I first moved here, I was actually working for an insurance company, and I was coming to
That's
Florida. So,
opposite. That's so opposite of the creative.
so,
No, I
so
hear stories like that all the time. Creative people getting into the finance world or insurance. It's fine. Job security, right?
yeah, like, and to be honest, so I actually went to three different colleges, mainly for basketball, but most of college, my um major was business. And then I shifted I transferred so much that I was like, yeah, I got to get out of college at some point. And if I wanted to like still finish up with a business major, I was going to end up being in school for a long time. So I kind of had to shift, but I had a lot of experience in business. My first job out of college, I actually ended up was working for Apple. So when I moved to Tallahassee, I was doing this insurance job, but it kind of like stopped like randomly when I moved here, and it was my first experience as like a 1099 employee. So I was kind of just here in Tallahassee and the job stopped, and I didn't know anybody, like didn't know what to do. And was like, maybe I'll just start a business. So that's literally, how this came about. I had some friends that were artists, or are artists, I should say, and I just kind of was like the behind the scenes, like, we just started this business where we wanted to customize sneakers and of course support art and education, somehow be involved in the community. And after about 6 or 7 months of living in Tallahassee, I ended up getting a job at AT&T because I was like, well, I gotta try and fund this business somehow. But AT&T was, right up my alley. I had already worked for Apple, technology, phones, things like that. So I was working at AT&T, and T, and then kind of just just randomly running this business called the Canvas Project. And one of the artists had to basically stop painting after about 9 or 10 months, just due to some, his job got a little more rigorous. And I ended up like having to paint, and I was like, this is weird, but I was forced into it. Our other artist was was like, yeah, you like you gotta try it. So I kind of did some things to like some of my own shoes, and ended up just painting this pair of Adidas, which was a pretty popular pair at the time. And I guess you could say this was like what 7, 8 years ago. They kind of went viral on Instagram. And Ti, the rapper, and actor, and yeah, he his manager reached out and bought this pair. It was like the
Cool.
third pair of custom shoes that I had ever done. And his manager reached out, and I like had no idea how to really manage the conversation, and sold them for like way less than I should have. And but
We
it
learn
was
from our mistakes.
we
And
learned from our
we just don't know, like, if we don't know the market, we don't know how to value. Yeah. Now, at least you could say that you've done it.
and I had like, I had 100%, and I had that like, opposite mentality at the time. Well, it's a celebrity, so I'll give them a discount, and then maybe they'll post it, on their socials, and whatever. But so I was like, at that point, I was like, well, I guess I'll keep painting. And I kind of, started painting as well, mixed in with, we have had a lot of students, over the years that have kind of joined, and then when they graduate, they move on. But I somehow, as time has gone on, have managed to end up, now being the only one that does paint for the team, but have just, kept going, doing projects. We've been able to do some really cool projects for like the Phoenix Suns, the American Cancer Society, a past Florida State football head coach. Yeah, like all types of stuff,
Cool.
over the years. And during the pandemic, well, so I ended up going full time with running the Canvas project. My technical position outside of the founder is creative director. So, I'm in charge of a lot of the visual stuff, and trying to come up with, you know, uh, some of the ideas and concepts for the custom sneakers that, we paint. But I ended up walking away from AT&T probably about 2 or 3 months before the pandemic hit, which was
Oh,
like the worst timing, of course, in the world. So um, during the pandemic, it was this huge lull of me just being like, well, I mean, what the heck are we gonna do? Like, I don't. People were trying to figure out how to get food from the grocery store, and I'm, pitching custom sneakers. We can't do anything in the schools with kids because, obviously, the pandemic.
yeah.
So I have always been heavy into like stocks and the market, and um, things like that. And the pandemic kind of forced me deeper into that realm. And then 2021 is when I kind of, as a business, we kind of started making a shift into some of the digital things that we're involved with, getting more involved with the blockchain, doing some consulting and public speaking around, blockchain technology, how it integrates into, everyday business, everyday life. And that eventually has evolved into us teaching programs with kids. And kind of full circle, the whole supporting art and education, gives us the opportunity to kind of expand our reach, and really teach more of a, like a program, or a curriculum
That's
consistently.
great.
um
Is
but
that
yeah, I know
how,
I kind
like,
of.
that's how you got, like, started getting plugged in the news?
Yeah, actually, that was, I think, the first time I was on the news, or I should say we were on the news locally, was was a NFT. We did an NFT project, which is NFT stands for non-fungible token, but it's they're digital assets that are basically connected to the blockchain. And we had did like a really small project, and it was real early stages, but just doing some testing and kind of getting a feel, getting out there in the market. But it was fun. It was fun, and it led to the like I said, the programs that we run. We did some. We have a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. We've done some stuff with TCC. Um, did something with Nike a couple years back. Um, so the technology shift was a good shift, I guess I could say.
That's great. And really cool how you help the youth, see creative options out there and educate them about everything related to NFTs and all of that. Like that's a whole. I watched the documentary on Bitcoin. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, about this guy. Anyways, so like, of course, there's like these trends where, you know, I kept hearing blockchain forever, and then all of a sudden, and NFTs forever, and then all of a sudden, it's just like nobody really talks about it anymore. But it's still around. It's still happening, right? There's still, I guess now it's stabilizing. I don't know. There's the diehard fans, and then people still include it as part of their investment portfolio, right? So there is
100%.
some, I guess there's some regulation or some stability now. What do you think? Just to get some insight on that.
Yeah. There's definitely more stability. I think the government honestly is still at a place where they're trying to really figure out how they're going to, excuse me, govern. Um, Obviously, things like some of the taxes and are NFT securities, are they not securities? What are tokens? All these different things. Um, but I think where it's relevant, and like you said, people are, including it in their investment portfolios, because really the best time, you want to buy low and sell high, right? But I think what's happening is when cryptocurrency moves very fast. If you look at like a chart or a graph, right? Um, and when it's doing good, it attracts a lot of investors. But you have a lot of people that are here for the blockchain and not just the investment side of it. We're here for the technology aspect of it. We're here for, how can it integrate into our business? How can we create? I think one of the biggest things that people haven't necessarily understood or gets missed a lot when we talk about blockchain and blockchain technology and NFTs and Web3, just that whole umbrella is the community aspect that is being created, that large corporations are following these models. Companies like Nike, companies like Subway, get on the app, join the app. Like we don't have to. Um, yes, email marketing is important. Yes, text message marketing is important. But if you don't have any of those things, then you can download our what? Download our app. So if we have a sale, if we have a special, Subway, get this sub today for $6.99. You have the app, you're part of the community. So that's the shift that I enjoy, that am paying close attention to. Um, Investments are going to go up and down, as the stock market's going to go up and down, as ETFs are going to go up and down. All that stuff's going to go up and down. So it's paying attention to the trend over the long term, which cryptocurrency ultimately is, going trending up clearly.
Right. It's still
And
there. Yeah.
it's still there, and then understanding how it integrates into this new world of okay, what is a crypto wallet, like little things like that.
Yeah. And there's not a whole lot. I mean, unless because I'm not in those circles,
Sure.
I mean, I could see you and you probably have something somewhere out there where you can like educate people on the most basic things like crypto 101 or something. If you have a course, like I think you could do well with that, you know, if there's another source of revenue that you want to, like really, because there's not a whole lot. So I think, because I think most people might have a concept that there is a lot of scams out there, and it's like, where do you start, and who do you speak to? Who are the actual experts that know what they're doing with that? And I know I'm going to get back into the creative aspect of Canvas, obviously, but I can see you doing well with that too. I've talked about this with you before.
So yes, and I also appreciate you saying it, because I definitely have spent some time this summer, really just wrapping my head around that. A few people have mentioned it to me actually at this point, so it's definitely on my to-do list. We have a few things that I'm going to try and mention before we get off that we're also rolling out that is new, or so it's like a bunch of stuff at one time, and making sure the timing is right for for everything. But definitely is something that I'm working on, because I really want to expand. I think we're at this point where a lot of people are really nervous about technology. A lot of people are, when you have the type of people where when something is new, they want to dive deeper into it and research it and figure out, the ins and outs of it. And then you have people that are kind of like, I
Yeah.
don't know, keep it away. Like, I've heard about it, but so it's trying to bridge that gap, to help people understand, like, hey, you don't have to be an expert on Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin, or that. That's not what this is about. It's educating yourself on the things that pertain to you or pertain to your brand or your business, and becoming an expert in those fields. Like, like for me, I have what I do and how we talk about it, but I don't have to, like, I'm not at a point where I have to, like, change our whole website so that we accept crypto payments, and that's going to make
Yeah.
or break us if we don't. We're not there yet, and I know all the stuff that I know, but I'm aware, like, we're not at that point yet. So
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother world. It's like these
yeah,
theories or something, but like there's even the VR space, like I can see where you design sneakers, digital sneakers in the VR space, like that like once we get outside of the box of just the physical realm, that's a whole nother level, right? And
whole
so
other level.
speaking of because I wanted to make sure we don't forget, and uh, let me pull this up so that we can talk about it, because I before you know it, the thing is over. So,
Yeah, I
but
know.
yeah, so you sent this to me, and I want to talk about this, what you're
Yes,
doing here.
yes. So, as a brand, we just hit 8 years. We've had this website. I mean, we've had our website, for 8 years. We have had, our own branded apparel. Obviously, we have custom sneakers on there that we sell as well, but we have our own branded apparel, and it's just something that we haven't really promoted, over the years. I kind of talk about it here and there, but with all of the other things that we do, sometimes it's tough to kind of show love to the, oh yeah, we do this too. So because we customize sneakers and we are so, heavily involved with footwear, our first kind of like kickoff product is going to be slides that are designed by us.
That's gonna take off. I
Um,
could see that.
thank
Super
you, thank
awesome.
you.
Let me like that.
Thank you. Yes. So we did a little giveaway a week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But yeah, we have there's two different pairs. There's the pair that's pictured, and then we have another pair that has like um kind of like a sun background. Yes, there they are. What we
Woo!
call like the
Nice.
sunny day. So that's going to be a product that will be, regularly available, can be ordered from the website. It comes with our branding on the box. When you look at the like label for where, the sizing for the slides, that we have like a,
Cool.
branding underneath that. So it's 100%, canvas branded, like I said. And this is going to kind of be our first kickoff. They can, we're a Florida brand, so obviously we get a little bit more
Yeah.
warmth down here for a little bit longer, but they're meant to be worn if you're running to the grocery store. They're meant to be worn if you're going to the beach, if you're going to the pool, if you're wearing them around the house. A lot of athletes do the socks with sandals thing, so they're meant for everybody.
Love it. And then you
Yes, thank
also
you.
shared the LinkedIn post. Here, let me go ahead and pull that up.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so tell us more. You recently was featured as a judge for the Shark Tank competition here.
Yes, yes, that is exactly what it was. Me and my good buddy, one of my best friends there, Tarag Shah, we were asked to also speak to the students of the Youth Leadership Tallahassee group, just about the kind of like storytelling in business and how important it is, and having that story that you can share about whether it's the products or how you got to where you are. So we talked to the kids about that, and yeah, as a brand, I do a lot of I do a lot of public speaking. I
Love
do,
it.
yeah, I do a lot of public speaking. Like I said, we do some consulting in regards to this whole kind of new wave of technology and how to incorporate it into your brand or your business. But it's kind of just another facet, of the brand. I think trying to be a role model in the community, and really teaching the kids that there's so many, when we talk about creativity, there's so many different ways that you can turn something into a profession, as long as you're patient and persistent, right? And strategic as well.
I see Kara there. It's so cool. Looks like a good, like fun crowd. The kids are super happy. You can tell. Um,
Yes.
looks like they got some
Thanks.
freebies too.
Yes, Sherrod gave out socks. They all got socks, which was awesome. And like you said, Kara was there as well, so she was one of the judges. And then I don't know if you know Lauren Bacon, she was one of the judges as well.
Awesome. So if people wanted to do custom sandals, well, can they
Hmm.
do that with you?
Yeah, 100%,
Cool.
100%,
I
and you
can
can
see like
choose. But
okay, go ahead. I mean, tell me a little bit more about your process. Um
sure.
we still have a little bit of time, but I can't believe it's already getting to 30. I told you these times go by quick. Let
Yes,
me go
yes.
ahead. I want to share that you also have a new arrivals. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your process with the sneakers.
Yes, yes. So the process with the sneakers, like I mentioned earlier, we do have sneakers on our website that we sell that are customized, that are readily available. Obviously, they have to be in your size. Well, they don't have to be if you want to get them to collect. You can get
I
them to
think
put
people
on the
would want
shelf.
to.
Let me not, hey. And we still have some sales that actually from celebrating our 8 years. So stuff is still on sale at the moment.
Nice.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, our typical process, how it works is people bring us people, individuals, organizations. We work with a lot of nonprofit organizations, businesses, holiday things. But you bring us a pair of sneakers, all white. They can be, the most common are Nike Air Force Ones, but you can really bring us whatever. We prefer sneakers that have, more leather on them because it gives us the opportunity to kind of add more paint, add more. But the process is you just bring us your shoes. We do bags too. We actually just finished. I haven't posted it, but we did finish the Louis Vuitton bag recently. Yeah, I got to finish editing all the stuff. So that was pretty
Nice.
fun. But yeah, you bring us your item, and you just tell us what you want. Tell us, you give us as many details as possible. You can be as general and as broad as possible. And we just really take that and run with it. We all of the work that we do is durable, so it's meant to last, just like a regular pair of sneakers. It's going to last according to how many times you wear them, the environments, of course, that you wear them in. And yeah, that's pretty much the process. I will say sometimes we move slow. Sometimes we, about 2 to 4 months. In a lot of cases are the wait time simply because, as I mentioned earlier, as a brand, we're doing a lot more than just customizing sneakers. We run our programs in the community. We're doing public speaking, consulting. And then one of the biggest things that we've actually been working on for a while, which I definitely wanted to make sure I shared before we got done, is we are actually, so the events are going to be called Paint and Drip. We will be hosting paint and drip events where people will be able to bring their sneakers and or leather items, but mainly in the beginning they'll be sneakers. And you'll have a 3 hour time window. We'll be there, we'll have stencils, all different types of paints, and it's going to be a whole experience for team builders, for teams, for the family, for friends hanging out. It's just going to be a really cool experience. Not going to have to be an expert at it. You're just going to kind of come and have a good time. We'll be there to guide you. And yeah, paint and drip. That's our newest thing that we're getting ready to start
That's awesome.
rolling out. Yeah.
Yes. And then do you
Yes.
have a studio? Like, how are you doing that? Like, where's the location?
So we have two locations that we will be kind of, alternating between. Breathing Color Studio, which is in Railroad Village. Our good
Awesome.
friends Taylor and Kosi over there. And then at Domi Station in Coca.
Yay! Of course. That makes sense.
Yes. Yes. So those will be the two locations. And then we also will be encouraging a lot of people as well. Like if you have like a big conference room or like for instance, we're in the process of trying to partner with actually like a basketball gym that runs like tournaments and stuff, so we're
Oh,
probably going to
cool.
try and do the event there because a lot of times people are accustomed to going to maybe that particular location. So yeah, we're gonna try and make it, flexible in regards to where people want to have the actual event. But yeah, it's been something that we were kind of doing some events before the pandemic hit, and then obviously we fell out of that, and just feel like this is a good time to kind of roll it back out.
Cool. So cool. I know we've talked briefly too before we hopped on where um being creative and running a business and just having that mindset is like we chose this path, this difficult path of like starting a business, and we might reach our 8 to 10 years, which I know, celebrating, congratulations for lasting
Thank
this
you, thank
long.
you.
And it's not easy passing the fifth year and now almost getting to your 10th year. Before you know it, you'll get to 10. And we were both saying, like, if we didn't start sooner, there's no way we would know any of the stuff that we learned, all these years. Like, so for anyone considering, it's better to start sooner than later. You got to learn somehow, right? Um, whether it's starting a business or buying a business or starting a franchise, whatever it is, like you got to start sooner, right? Because in
Yep.
the beginning, it's all about making those mistakes and learning from them. So if there's anything as far as advice goes, because I know, like, I want to make sure I shared, like, even this one, like you mentioned Boys and Girls Club of the Big Bend. You're helping people along the way. um, what would help you the most tremendously, and also, like, what has been helpful for you to grow your business? Like, what has been most effective in growing your business?
Yeah. Great question. I definitely, and I'm glad you asked because I really wanted to say this is timing and patience. Timing and patience. Like especially with what I do, it's a very niche. All of the things are very niche. They're different. Some of the technology education is newer, so it's niche. So being patient, understanding, our busier times a year, understanding the best times to run the programs, understanding the best times to host events, being patient, not being afraid to, take risks. You know, educated risks, not anything too crazy, but taking risks to you have to test, you have to see if things work, if they don't work. So I definitely would say just being patient and having, even if it's just one person, trying to have people around you. Like every time we have a conversation, it's always some type of good, idea, creative flow. We all have people that we know when we get around. Oh, that I always get some new crazy idea, when I talk to this person. Like, having people that you can bounce a lot of your ideas off of, and having, one person that's gonna also kind of tell you, like, okay, this is not feasible, or it is feasible, like you don't want to just be in the studio recording your song and everyone's like, yes, yes, that's it. You want to have that person that's gonna be like, that doesn't sound good, we got to tweak this. The sound needs to be, that's important. So that would definitely be my advice.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with singers and songwriters, and it's like you might have that one hit, but you need to make 100. You need to make 100, 1,000 songs. I don't know. Not all of them are going to be hits. Same thing with sports. You got to keep, like, there's a lot of games that Messi and LeBron lost, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like, so we to get that one hit, and or that finally that revenue mile that we're trying to get to, we
yes.
gotta keep creating and producing. And so I've shared all your contact info. Obviously, I want to make sure that everybody
Thank
knows
you.
how to get a hold of you if they want to book a session with you. Follow him on LinkedIn, go to his website, check out some of the custom designs that they've done, and follow him on Instagram. Obviously, share his post. He does so much for the community already. It's like not the easiest to do while you have a small business. You're bootstrapping. I get it. I do the same. But we can't help it. We just love helping people, right? So
100%.
I'm so glad you can make the time to be on here. And thanks for hopping on. And it's been a long time coming because I kept saying, like, we need to get you on my show. And we finally did. And thanks for being patient with me. And oh my gosh, that last time I can't believe I forgot about.
No, listen, we are human. So thank you so much for having me on, and giving me the opportunity to, share some of my story and how our brand and business has evolved. Hopefully, anybody that's watching, we were able to give some inspiration today. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm like you said, long time coming. So I'm glad I was able to jump on today. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then once, whenever you're ready for us to start promoting the digital courses that you're going to have on eventually,
Yes.
like I could see it would be so much fun for kids to just like consume that content where like they see how you obviously don't give away your secret sauce, but like,
No.
what your process is like from drawing your designs to then putting it on literally a shoe. Like that whole thing, like even just to learn once, parents would be willing to pay for that. And so like I love that
Yeah.
you're doing in-person events too, but the scalable aspect of your creativity and teaching kids how to do that, like that can scale, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%.
so anyone who wants to get a hold of you, here's his email, right? And
Thank you.
if they wanted you to speak, to teach, he's
Pain.
easy to get a hold of.
Yes, for sure. I will respond.
Yes, he's so great. Well, thanks again, Jim. I'm gonna do a little, I'm finally gonna end the stream, and to hang on for a few seconds. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, see you on the other side. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.